From personal experience alone, I am fully aware that stress management is a crucial aspect to being somebody who has good willpower. When you are feeling overwhelmed or in distress about a personal issue, your first priority in mind is to do whatever it takes to feel better. If we neglect our inner voice telling us something for too long, we could develop anxiety, depression, and a number of physiological ailments. I believe in dealing with your problems head-on before they are allowed to ferment into something stronger in your mind. In this video, I'm going to teach you techniques that I use to deal with stress so I can rebound quickly and get back on the grind. So I recently read a 2015 report by the American Psychological Association about how people in America deal with stress. And I discovered that the way that I used to deal with stress is pretty much practiced by everybody. Now, before we dive in, let me set the record straight by saying stress can be a good thing. It is vital in order to make any kind of necessary change or adaptation to fit your environment. It's when stress isn't dealt with or is dealt with the wrong way, it becomes a problem. Reflecting upon my findings of this report reminded me of my teenage years when I was undeniably horrible when it came to dealing with stress. I recall one summer in my mid-teens when my girlfriend at the time and I had just broken up, and I was in a funk for a couple days. I felt weighed down by the stress, and my genius solution was to lock myself in my room, surf the internet for mindless bullshit, then go watch TV shows I didn't even really like until 4 in the morning. Wake up at 2, get upset about being lazy, then repeat all over again. I thought, man, I can't wait until I get over this. Then in reality, I just did what felt right and checked Facebook for the 80th time that day. And surprise, still didn't feel better. So I had a basketball game later that day for a league I was playing in with some of my good friends. I didn't feel up for it, but I went anyways. After the game was over, something amazing happened. It was like a 1,000-pound weighted vest was taken off of my shoulders, and I felt fantastic. Suddenly, I had forgotten what it was that I was so upset about, and I saw the world through a whole new light. I thought, how could this be? What I felt like doing seemed like such a great thing to do, but didn't help at all. What I didn't feel like doing almost instantly made me feel better. You may be thinking, okay, Captain Obvious, we know that exercise and spending time with friends makes us feel better. Yes, but the truth is, the what is not as important as the how. Let's break down the science of what's going on in our brain so we can determine a solution. During activities such as watching TV, surfing the web, shopping, gambling, using drugs or alcohol, or any other activity where you are anticipating a reward, your brain releases a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Although people commonly mistake this for happiness, dopamine is actually the reward neurotransmitter that causes you to focus your attention on a potential reward in the pursuit of happiness. Dopamine by itself doesn't actually make you happy, only anxious while you anticipate your reward. Chemicals that your brain produces to make you happy are neurotransmitters such as serotonin, gamma-aminobutyric acid, and oxytocin. These are released during activities such as exercising, playing sports, spending time with good friends or family, meditating, reading, listening to music, drawing or artwork, spending time in nature, and working on a goal or a hobby. These chemicals allow you to relax, rid yourself of worry, and feel pleasure. It's no wonder that playing a sport with my close friends while working towards a goal of a favorite hobby of mine immediately made me feel better. The question is, why didn't I do this sooner? I knew in the back of my mind all along that these things were making me feel better. Why couldn't I get myself to actually do them? We think that this comes down to brute willpower, and in circumstances it can. But this is more due to the fact that dopamine-releasing activities are far more enticing and require far less work than serotonin and other feel-good activities. The truth is, we often greatly underestimate how we're going to feel after exercise or doing something active. This is why so many people dread working out, but then afterwards say, wow, I'm really happy I did that. Now, dopamine isn't a bad thing. Dopamine is the driver of progress and evolution of our species. Dopamine is what gets you out of bed in the morning and motivates you to take action. It becomes a bad thing when you release dopamine without using it for what it's meant for. And that's progress. This is when an activity becomes detrimental to your life. If you release dopamine for just the sheer sake of releasing dopamine, combined with a sedentary or unhealthy habit, then you're stepping on the proverbial hamster wheel of unhappiness. So what do I do to avoid this loop? Now, the most valuable trick that I have for you is to leverage dopamine to your advantage. You can attach dopamine to an activity that will A, make you feel better, and if done correctly, B, bring you closer to your goals. For example, if you want to get yourself to exercise during times when you're stressed, first find out what makes you happy. Think of a goal that you want to accomplish. Many people stress over money, for instance. Therefore, tell yourself that the healthier that you are, the more energy and the more self-confidence you'll have. The more energy and self-confidence you have, the more likely you are to not settle for less than you're worth and work towards acquiring more money. If you're stressed over a breakup, the same trick can apply. The more energy and self-confidence you have, the more attractive you become, therefore the more people will want to be around you. Everyone I know who is in great shape has convinced themselves on the benefits of exercising and living a healthy lifestyle. The pursuit of these benefits is what drives one to do the work necessary to achieve this feat. You'll release dopamine based on your conviction of aligning your actions with your goals. If you want to get yourself to read instead of watch TV or surf the web, you can use the same method. Once again, if you're stressed about money, realize that we aren't born with financial skills. We learn them like everything else. Picking up a book that will teach us how to become somebody who is successful will bring us a lot closer than watching Game of Thrones. Although I'll admit that's an awesome show. I recommend the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki to start. Once you realize that the smarter you become, the more financially well off you'll be much more inclined to start reading to learn as much as you possibly can about what will bring you closer to your goals. I'll admit that I watch a ton of YouTube. I've cut down slightly, but more importantly, I've aligned this habit with my goals to create a powerful combination. Now, whenever I watch YouTube, I watch educational, informational videos that will make me smarter and help me achieve my goals. Therefore, I'm leveraging my dopamine fix to make me smarter in subjects that I care about and ultimately become a better person. So this method takes practice, and it will also take some thought. And what excites me may not excite you. You need to get clear about what you want in life and leverage these to healthy habits that will release feel-good neurotransmitters to relieve stress and help you get back on track. So I hope this video helped. Comment any strategies that you have for relieving stress and let us know what works for you. Subscribe and like the video if you haven't already, and stay tuned for the next video.